I feel like you guys would be expecting a name. That's that. I don't like giving out my name like that. I have a lot of enemies, so I don't like giving out my name. For now, you can call me Richie. If you want a last name, we can go with Young. Say Richie Young. And so I'm here to tell you my story. To give you a little bit of background, I was alive during the days when the Son of God was walking around, and I used to be kind of rich. I was young too, very young. Some people call me a ruler, whatever that is. But yeah. And so anyway, let me just get to my story. So one day there was this day where I was walking around Judea, and I was walking by the Jordan, and I'm walking towards the marketplace, checking around, see what I could buy, and I like to check out the clothes. You know, I like to look stylish. I like to look good from time to time. You know what I mean? And so I'm walking around and looking at this marketplace, and I see this crowd over in the distance, over yonder, right? And so I'm looking, and I see my buddy Butch. I say, "Hey, Butch, what's going on over here?" Butch says something, I don't know. Nobody really understood Butch in those days. And I said, "Butch," I says, "what's going on over here?" Butch says, "Oh, Jesus." I go, Can you say that one more time for me, Butch? Butch says, Jesus. I said, "Did you say Jesus?" He said, "Yeah." You know, listen to me. My heart skipped a beat. I'm pretty sure I might have had heart palpitations. Except back then we didn't have machines to check that, so whatever. But I'm pretty sure I had something because my heart skipped a beat. Because I heard of this guy named Jesus. I mean, I considered myself a very spiritual person. Since I was a kid, I would follow the commandments. We're talking no lying, no adultery, no defrauding, no false witness, honoring your father and mother. I did it all. Listen, I sacrificed a lot. Listen, let me tell you how much I sacrificed. Listen, I had this one girl, right? Ooh, she was bad. I'm telling you, she was drop dead gorgeous. When I say she was bad, she was a dime. She was a bombshell. Listen, Delilah and Potiphar's wife had nothing on this girl, all right? So everybody in Judea knew who this girl was because she had these beautiful eyes, because all you could see her was her face, because otherwise she was all covered up. One time I got a peek at that shoulder, you know what I mean? And so I had this girl, you know, and I was all set, you know. I was all at peace. And one day this girl comes out, and she gets a little weird. She says, "Hey, papi." I go, "What's good?" She says, "Hey, when is it gonna happen? What are we waiting for?" I said, "Girl, what you talking about?" She said, "You know, when we gonna, bada bing, bada boom, you know what I mean?" And I said, "Girl, you know, I'm not trying to do that right now, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to get into that. You know, I'm trying to watch my spirituality. I'm a man who cares a lot about his eternity and his spirituality, you know? And thinking she's going to respect that, she doesn't really respect that. So I said, you know what? I don't need this. I'm dropping it. It's done. I dumped it. Left it like that. You know what? It was good. Because now that I look back, I could have fallen. Especially when I found out that 2 days later, she got knocked up by little Johnny with the bow leg. And so, little Johnny, I'm not going to get started on that. Anyway, so I sacrificed a lot, you know. I gave up this girl, and it was just a lot I gave up. So anyway, getting back to the story, I hear this, Jesus, listen to me. I tell you that I did not walk. Forget about it. I sprinted over there to see this guy. All right, I heard stories about him. I heard about what he did. I heard about all the miracles he did. Yeah. I heard that some people think he's a fraud. But listen, I have a little bit of money. I have a little bit of wealth. And so I've traveled around. And so I've been to the places they say he's been. And I've seen the type of people that they say he's healing. And if he really had somebody walk from the people I seen who couldn't walk, and the people I saw who couldn't see, and the people are saying that they really saw him, they really walked, I mean, there's no doubt that this is the Son of Man. And so I sprinted over to this guy, and I fell at his feet on my knees. I fell. I said, "Oh, good teacher." He looked at me and he said, "Why do you call me good? Why do you call me good? There was no one good but the Father." Now, I didn't know what the heck that meant. I was just like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Amen. You know what I mean? I'm sure it was wise. It was Jesus. I didn't understand it, but whatever. I said, okay, what must I do to inherit eternal life? And he says, keep the commandments. Do not steal, do not kill, do not bear false witness, do not commit adultery, honor your father and mother, do not dishonor and defame. And I said, but Jesus, like, that's cool. But he's telling me things I've learned, basically. It's like kindergarten stuff to me. You guys are kindergarten these days. Back then we had Pharisee school, right? So these are all things I've been hearing since I was a kid. I said, Jesus, since I was 13, because in my culture, in Jewish culture, when you were 13, you were already responsible for fully carrying out all the commandments. And so I said, Jesus, this is all stuff I've been doing since I was a kid, but there's something that's missing. It can't be just do this and do that. It feels like there's something missing in my heart. And so what can it be? What is it? And Jesus looks at me. And if I could just describe to you what Jesus looked like, I don't even think I can. This dude would walk so peacefully, and he would give off this atmosphere of peace. They didn't call him Prince of Peace for nothing. He would walk, and he would walk with confidence and yet with love. And he had this complexion. It was like, I couldn't describe it. He was always glowing, and there was always a smile on his face. And it was genuine. It's not like the smiles people have nowadays that I see walking around, or even back then. It was genuine. And the way that he would look at people, he really had love for people. He really had his heart on his sleeve. Yeah? And so he was looking around, but when I talked to him, he wasn't looking around. These eyes were on me. And these eyes, when I looked dead into them, they told me that I love you. Now see, that's not something I've heard in a while. That's not something that I've had in a while, if at all. Because y'all don't understand, I've never really had friends. Through my sacrifices, I gave up all my friends. I never even had family a lot, because my mother and my father, they would just put me in the school with the teachers of the law, but I never got a lot of attention. All I had were my things. All I had was my money. Even my servants didn't care a lot about me. But here he stands, Jesus, with his eyes, no words, telling me that he loves me. And he says to me, there's one thing you lack. Go and sell all of your things. Give to the poor, and then come follow me. You will have the treasure in heaven. Y'all don't understand. That broke my heart. And it terrified me. You see, now that I look back on it, all of the sacrifices I made were easy because I had a comfort zone to run back to. I had something to run back to. I had my money. When I gave up my girl, and when I had to make sacrifices, when I wanted sex, when I wanted this, I had my money to go back to. I could buy whatever I wanted. When I lost my friends, when I didn't get my attention from my parents, it's okay. I had my money to go back to. But now, Jesus is asking me to give this all up. And now the reason that this was tearing me apart is because not only did I hear about the things Jesus did, I heard about the things that he preached, and I heard about the things that he said. And it felt like everything that he said was speaking to me and to my soul. In a life where nobody speaks into your life, and nobody is around to speak into you, it felt like this was the one man who knew me better than anybody. It feels like this man who was so far away became my only best friend. You see, this is all I had of a best friend. And so Jesus became my best friend. He became the one person I loved and I trusted. And I remember when I heard his name, I sprinted over because I wanted to see my best friend. And here my best friend says, let go of everything and come follow me. And it was like a jarring within my very being. There was a jarring in my heart because this was my comfort zone. This was all I've ever had for years. All I've known, all I could put my trust in was my money and my things, my property, my possessions. And here comes the man that I trusted that also gave me comfort and told me to give everything to him. After he told me that, I got up on my feet and I couldn't even look at him anymore. I cast my head down and I walked away because I knew I couldn't do it. I knew I couldn't give it up. It was all I had. And I walked away, and the saddest part for me was that I knew I couldn't be with my best friend. And one of the even more sad parts is that I knew that Jesus was probably hurting way more than me. Because if I love Jesus so much, imagine how much more he loved me. And he knew that he couldn't be with his best friend either. And it was all my fault. And so now I look back on it. I look back on that day and I regret it with all of my heart and with all of my soul, with all of my being. I wish I could go back and I wish I could give up everything. I wish I could do everything he told me. Because right now I'm suffering for eternity because I can't be with my best friend. People think suffering for eternity is fire and torture and all that. Forget that. You know what my torture is? I can't be with my best friend, with the only person who gave me love and cared for me. I can't be with him. And so I messed up, and it's too late for me. But let me ask you, because your time is still here. You still have time. And so, what is it that you're not willing to give up yet for the one person who loves you? What is it that you're not giving up? When the Lord calls us to give up everything, what is the one thing you're not giving up? And if you know what that is, you better make sure that you can give that up quick before you have to spend eternity without your best friend. Because now I'm suffering. And I don't have my best friend. Have a good day.